And now, please join me in welcoming Treehouse's Chief Program Officer to the stage, Angela Griffin. Thank you, Dolly.
Good afternoon. Thank you, Amy, Sharmila, and Ashvin for your leadership on the board and with this great event. I also want to thank Janice Avery, our fearless leader and CEO. Janice, I am so proud to work for Treehouse. And I think everyone would agree with me that we would not be where we are today without your leadership and your vision. You are a true champion for kids in foster care. Thank you. It's an honor to be here. Treehouse has been stepping up as a champion for youth in foster care for a long time. We're celebrating our 30th birthday this year. And we've seen a lot of change. Back in 1988, a group of social workers started Treehouse with a simple vision: give kids what they need to feel loved and participate in school and community activities. We bought soccer cleats, birthday presents, and school supplies. On any given day, there are more than 9,000 youth in foster care in the state of Washington. Treehouse is proud to serve more than 7,500 of those youth. Foster care is designed to be a temporary solution. Though through no fault of their own, youth are removed from their homes and placed with relatives, foster families, and in group homes. These kids grow up impacted by a system that was not designed for them to be successful. In collaboration with key partners and spearheaded by Janice's tenacious leadership, Washington is now one of the most progressive states for youth in foster care. We've reinvented Treehouse and have served youth, and it hasn't always been a smooth progression. Almost 7 years ago, Treehouse got some really bad news. Graduation rates in King County were less than 40% for youth in foster care. And without a high school diploma and a plan for their future, youth in foster care experience disproportionately high rates of poverty, homelessness, incarceration, early parenting, and substance abuse. So we did a lot of soul searching as an organization. Our programs were good programs, and we were good people doing really good work. Turns out that isn't enough to help all youth earn their vital diploma. Now, I wasn't a part of Treehouse when the news first broke about the graduation rate, but I was a major part of what happened next, the solution. Treehouse took 6 months to evaluate and regroup. The result is our graduation success program, which I am proud to say I helped develop and lead. We set an ambitious 5-year goal in King County. Simply stated, youth in the program would graduate at the same rate as their peers. How ambitious are we? We're talking about doubling the graduation rate. Doubling the graduation rate. People thought we were crazy. I still sometimes think we're a little crazy. But from the beginning, of course, we had some challenges. The average youth in foster care changed placements 3 times, some 10, 20. I actually know a youth who had 35 placements, and she was only 15. So each time youth change placements, they can lose 6 months of academic progress. They don't just change where they're living. They often change schools and school districts. They lose touch with their friends, families, teachers, their whole support system. Can you imagine that much disruption as you try to achieve one of your goals? It's not impossible to overcome obstacles of that magnitude, but it's unbelievably difficult. Our graduation success program removes barriers to achieving those goals. The results have been impressive. The class of 2013, our first group in the program, achieved a 77% extended or 5-year graduation rate. There's more. Each year since then, that rate has grown. We now have an 89% graduation rate for youth in our program. So what's even more exciting is our graduation success program has been able to expand beyond King County. And over the past 4 years, we've expanded into Tacoma, Spokane. This year, we expanded into Snohomish County. And by 2022, we plan on being in the entire state of Washington. What that means for our youth is that they will have the opportunity to join our program throughout the state. And the goal is that by 2022, youth in foster care across Washington state will graduate at the same rate of their peers with support and a plan to launch successfully into adulthood. But we are not going to stop there. We know youth just aren't ready to tackle the world at 18 or 19, especially without a safety net. As the parent of 2 college graduates and a current college sophomore, I know my kids would not have been successful without all of my support. For youth in foster care, we are that support system. And that we means all of you and us today. We also know youth of color are disproportionately represented in foster care. For example, African Americans make up about 12.7% of the overall population, while the number of children and youth in foster care is almost double that at 21%. When we look at the barriers to success through the lens of race, we see that youth of color face far more obstacles than their white peers. They experience higher rates of suspension, pregnancy, chemical dependency, and homelessness. And that's just not acceptable. We won't be satisfied until all youth have the same opportunities to dream, succeed, and live their lives the way they choose. Now, I'm not talking about equality. I'm talking about equity today. At Treehouse, we just don't give up on kids. We understand how to scale our operations, but we can't do this alone. It took a major commitment from the community to meet the goal for King County, and we'll need even more support as we expand across the state. How many of you want to be a part of the solution? Raise your hands. Yay! Well, you're in the right place. Today is your opportunity to help us level the playing field for youth in foster care. I'm excited for you to hear from the rest of our speakers, and I know you will leave here inspired. Please join me in welcoming our 3 regional managers who are leading the way for our kids to graduate and achieve their dreams.